Imagine a country that was once the symbol of destruction and despair, rising in just a few decades to become one of Africa's most prosperous nations. Rwanda's economy has grown over tenfold since 1994, and under Paul Kagame's leadership, the country has transformed beyond recognition. How did he accomplish this? And what lessons does his journey hold for African leadership today? Paul Kagame's name is synonymous with Rwanda's rise from the ashes. He has been at the helm of Rwanda's recovery since 2000, but his influence stretches back even further, to the days when Rwanda was defined by the 1994 tragic events. Kagame emerged from the aftermath of that tragedy, leading not only as a political figure, but as the symbol of a nation's survival and rebirth. His leadership has placed Rwanda on the global stage, making it a model for development and governance in Africa. But Kagame's story, like Rwanda's, is a complex one marked by both triumph and challenge. In 1994, Rwanda faced an unprecedented catastrophe. Over the course of 100 days, nearly 1 million lives were unalived in a brutal wave of unrest. The tragic events left Rwanda not only grieving its perished, but also grappling with deep divisions and destroyed infrastructure. The government had collapsed, the economy was in ruins, and families were shattered. The emotional and physical toll was immense. Rwanda was, quite literally, a country brought to its knees. This was the environment in which Paul Kagame took leadership. The task ahead was daunting. How do you restore a nation so deeply fractured by conflict? How do you rebuild institutions, repair communities, and heal a wounded population? Rwanda needed more than a leader. It needed someone who could restore hope, a figure who could bridge the past with a future yet to be written. Kagame stepped into this role, not just as a leader of a government, but as a guide through one of the darkest periods in modern history. Kagame understood that Rwanda's recovery would require more than just political stability. His approach to rebuilding the nation was deliberate, strategic, and above all, forward-thinking. He began with justice, a central concern in a country still reeling from the trauma of mass unrest. Kagame's government introduced the Gakaka courts, a local justice system that combined accountability with reconciliation. These community-driven courts tried over 1 million cases, allowing Rwandans to confront their painful history while working toward national healing. Kagame's strategy was to ensure that justice wasn't simply punitive, it was a step toward rebuilding trust between Rwanda's people. Beyond reconciliation, Kagame's leadership transformed Rwanda's economy. His government implemented the Vision 2020 plan, a blueprint designed to shift Rwanda from a low-income agrarian economy to a middle-income country powered by services, industry, and technology. Rwanda's capital, Kigali, became a hub for business, tourism, and technology, often compared to major global cities for its cleanliness and efficiency. By investing in infrastructure, Kagame's administration rebuilt roads, schools, and hospitals, ensuring that even the most rural areas had access to services. Education was also a priority. Kagame's government dramatically increased enrollment in schools and emphasized technological literacy, recognizing that Rwanda's future lay in the digital economy. Health reforms, too, were critical under Kagame. Rwanda implemented one of Africa's most successful universal healthcare programs, drastically increasing life expectancy and lowering child mortality rates. One of Kagame's most transformative achievements has been the empowerment of women. Rwanda now holds the world's highest percentage of women in parliament, with over 60% of seats occupied by women. Kagame recognized early on that for Rwanda to succeed, it would need to harness the talents of all its citizens, regardless of gender. This move wasn't just symbolic, it was an integral part of Rwanda's social and economic strategy. The results of Kagame's reforms speak for themselves. Rwanda's GDP growth has consistently been among the highest in Africa, and the nation's poverty rate has fallen dramatically. The economic progress is tangible, but Kagame's leadership is about more than numbers. It's about the transformation of a national mindset. Under his leadership, Rwanda became a place where people believed in their collective future again. A defining moment in Kagame's leadership came in 2014, during the 20th anniversary of the tragic events. The world watched as Rwanda, once known for its unimaginable tragedy, stood united, commemorating its loss while celebrating how far it had come. In his speech, Kagame reflected on Rwanda's painful history, but also looked ahead. emphasizing that the country would no longer be defined by its past.
"We are not a people to be pitied," he said.
"We are a people capable of building our own future." That moment encapsulated Kagame's leadership. He had guided Rwanda through its healing process, transforming the country from one marked by unrest into a nation known for resilience and progress. The anniversary wasn't just about mourning the past, it was about showing the world how Rwanda had rebuilt itself under Kagame's guidance. It was a moment that captured both the emotional journey of Rwanda and the practical steps taken to ensure the country's future success. In that speech, Kagame made it clear that Rwanda's journey was far from over. He called on his people to remain vigilant, united, and committed to the continued progress of the nation. It was a message of resilience of a country that had survived its darkest hour and was now standing strong, prepared to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Paul Kagame's leadership has fundamentally changed Rwanda. He took a country devastated by tragic events and transformed it into one of Africa's most stable and prosperous nations. Rwanda is now a global model for economic development, gender equality, and post-conflict recovery. But Kagame's story is not without complexity. His leadership style has garnered criticism, particularly around issues of political freedom and human rights. Yet, the undeniable truth is that his role in shaping modern Rwanda is monumental. His leadership has been about more than just economic progress. It's been about uniting a people, rebuilding trust, and showing the world that a nation can rise above its darkest moments. Kagame's legacy is one of resilience, determination, and a vision for a future where Rwanda is no longer seen as a victim, but as a leader in Africa and beyond. What do you think about Paul Kagame's leadership? Has his approach to rebuilding Rwanda set the standard for leadership in Africa? Or are there elements of his governance that concern you? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and be sure to check out our next video on Africa's most influential leaders. Rwanda's journey from tragedy to triumph in less than 30 years is an incredible testament to what focused leadership can achieve. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for watching.